My supervisor interrupted my emergency phone call, then fired me. So this happened yesterday. It's my second day at this job. I started getting multiple phone calls from my wife. I tell my supervisor about this and ask if I can step outside to call my wife back and see what's going on. So I step outside at approximately 6:31 p.m., call my wife, and she's hysterical. I can't understand what she's saying. I'm just trying to calm her down so I can understand her. At 6:32 my supervisor steps outside and interrupts my phones and tells me I'm not allowed to smoke a cigarette. I was stressed and lit one while trying to calm down my wife, and my supervisor says, "Emergency phones are only supposed to last a minute or two." I said I understand, I'll call my wife back on my lunch. Went back inside and started working again. Maybe 4 or 5 minutes goes by and said supervisor comes back to me and basically starts berating me again about the whole situation. I told her I don't think she's handling this in a professional manner, and then said I was giving her an attitude, asked for my work badge and told me to leave. I've already informed HR about this and should be getting a final say-so today. I'm just wondering, are employees in Arkansas allowed an emergency phone without being told to? Emergency phones should only last a minute or two. I honestly like this job and I'm kinda frustrated about how the whole situation even happened. Doubt I have any laws protecting me in this situation. Weird. How can you set a time limit on how long dealing with an emergency takes? It takes as long as it needs to take. Maybe minutes. Maybe hours. Maybe days. That will only be the first of many issues with your supervisor if they keep you. More importantly, is your wife okay? So what was the emergency? If it was legitimate, I'd say you have a defense. Your supervisor has probably had issues with people creating false situations, and that may have contributed to her negative way of handling it. I think ingesting radioactive waste would be less toxic than this workplace. Is your wife okay? Fuck the job up. We need to know everything is alright. Arkansas is at will. No laws about emergency phone calls, so they can and will pull some bulljive like this. In their eyes. You lied in order to take a smoke break. I doubt they're gonna cut you some slack, since that would require them to admit that they were wrong. You'll be better off at a different company. Well, make sure you share that with them if you appeal. Good luck. If your supervisor doesn't like you on the second day, you don't want to be there. You're not a child. They can't punish or treat you as one by saying you are not allowed an emergency phone call. I mean, if it's an emergency, all other things go out the window. Toxic boss. Sooner you leave, the better your future life will be. Emergency calls are only supposed to be a minute or two. Fuck that job. Glassdoor and leave reviews everywhere if they term you. You should head over to our legal advice and post this there. Along with the state you live. Better to know your options than not know any. If anything, maybe you can now file for unemployment. Wrongful termination. I'm not a lawyer, but this is why you need to ask them. I'm not sure what the laws are in Arkansas. I would suggest looking up the labor laws there. I think your supervisor's demands of an emergency call lasting a minute or two seems to be arbitrary. If it was her kid, it would be different. Unfortunately, I am not sure if Arkansas is a right-to-work state or not. Get paperwork from the hospital visit regarding for your daughter. Anytime you go, get a note from the hospital excusing you from work. It is usually given upon request. Your daughter was rushed to the ER. They don't need to know how she got there or if she has any pre-existing conditions. All they need to know is your daughter was rushed to the ER. Please let us know what happens with the job. I saw a TikTok about a guy who finds jobs so he can take them to court. Sounds like this is a good option. Guys, is this how things work in the US? I'm from Brazil and I can step outside and call anyone if I want to. If the boss tries to make a scene, everyone will think that he's dumb. I've seen people spend like half an hour on a call and nobody cares. Of course that's not everywhere. But we don't ignore our family emergencies. You did nothing wrong. Your supervisor is a dickhead. Power-hungry moron. Sure, things could have been handled better. But you did nothing wrong. You only lit a cigarette when you were stressed. I would say look for another job. This is absolutely ridiculous.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.